What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the 2025 Honda Pilot TrailSport all-wheel drive. This one's finished off in Diffused Sky, has a really nice pearl in it as well, and it is about $51,200. So let's go ahead and see what this Pilot has to offer. Popping the hood, we can see the engine, which is a nice robust old school one. So we have our latch over here, and then popping that up, you're going to find the naturally aspirated V6. This is a 3.5 liter, pumping out 285 horsepower with 265 pound-feet of torque. Has a 10-speed automatic with the all-wheel drive system. Also has an 18.5 gallon fuel tank. And with all that, you're looking at 18 miles per gallon in the city with 23 out on the highway. This can also tow about 5,000 pounds. Taking a look at the headlights, you got a nice LED design with your running lights. The grille even is integrated into it, looks pretty cool. We have some gloss black trim with a functional cutout to allow air to pass through the bumper. A little bit of plastic trim down below in black and silver. Parking sensors, LED fog lights. Pretty bold appearance. You got your TrailSport badge as well. You can see these massive grille openings to provide tons of cooling, safety sensor, forward-facing camera, and then a lower grille down below. So nice looking overall. Of course, it looks like the typical Pilot. However, you're gonna get a little bit more of a bold, blacked out appearance with the TrailSport being favorable to off-roading. So is this the ultimate off-road family SUV or the light use, camping trips, trails, things like that? And for the price point, it's not crazy expensive. You got a very smooth hood with just a little bit of sharp body lines, and then at the side profile, you can see some black plastic trim just to protect the paint. I really like these 18-inch wheels. They have the TrailSport logo, nice Continental off-road tire to them, and then just some sharp body lines throughout the side profile. A little bit of plastic for the rocker panels, gloss black on the door handles, as well as the side mirrors. You can see integrated turn signal, there's a camera underneath as well. And then all black trim throughout these windows. I like how the third one is kind of in its own area. We have our roof rails up above, panoramic sunroof. And then for the side profile, it looks like a nice size 3-row family vehicle. It's not the biggest thing out there, which is quite nice. So this is something that you could actually tackle a few trails going on a trip. In back, you do have one sharp body line that cuts its way through the side, leading to these red housings on these taillights. You got black bar connecting that with Pilot blacked out. Integrated spoiler up above with a third brake light, wiper blade up here. More of your logos, plastic black material throughout the bumper with silver and black. Trailer hitch receiver, all-wheel drive badge. Can't complain, I think it's a nice car overall. Looks like a good size family vehicle, but you have the ruggedness being a TrailSport. So we have a button right here, we can pop that, and you're gonna open up that lift gate. Now with the seats folded down, you can get a pretty good idea of how much cargo space you can get with the second row up and down. So definitely pretty practical back here. You have a 12 volt right here, a little bit of extra storage space, a little cubby on this right side, and the floor even has hidden space, which is a really cool touch. Now from here, you can pull these third row seats up and kind of see the differences between up and down. And then over on this left side, these will recline. So pulling this way back, you can see the nice recline angle, which is a really cool touch. Headrest will independently pop open as well. And then from here, we can just press the button and close it up. Taking a look at the interior now, this one's gonna get a black leather interior. Door panel has a ton of storage on it as well. You have cup holders, all this room, all the way down here, even the grab handle is storage. You can see your window control and a nice sunshade. From here, you have these flat folding seats, and then the 3 seats in the back. Captain's chairs as well, and then we can lift this up for our second row seating. Now hopping back here, we do get air vents in the center with a screen. There's also fan speed control, temperature control, USB plugs, storage, even a phone slot as well. So pretty nicely appointed armrest as well back here. And we can slide this forward and back. There's a recline lever on the side as well, getting that into a nice angle at 5'11". I do sit here pretty good. There's a lot of legroom and headroom in here. Can't really complain. I wouldn't mind the bases being a little longer. I feel like they're a little short on my legs stopping here. Wouldn't mind a little bit extra leg support, but other than that, really can't complain. Pretty decent back row. Now from here, all the operations, if you just pull the recline lever, they're gonna fold back flat to how we had it, but we have a button right here. It'll slide forward and fold forward a little bit to give you a good access point into the third row. So hopping in here, we do have USB ports, air vents, cup holders as well. And these seats feel pretty similar in size to the second row. They're just a little lower, so obviously my leg is kind of high up. They still feel a little short, But again, for a third row, not really bad for the size point. If I even pull this seat back, you know, you're still gonna get good legroom back here as well. So for a grown-up, honestly, I don't have an issue sitting here, especially with those climate vents. Recline angle's pretty good. You have a latch right here you can pull and adjust that. So not a bad family SUV. Certainly has the practicality and space. Now from here, let's hop to the front seat. We do have power folding side mirrors, smart key where you can unlock it and lock it from the door panel. You also have just a little bit of soft touch material, the contrast stitching, all of your controls. There is memory seating, tons of storage space, power seats up front as well with lumbar support. And then you're gonna see the nice orange stitching throughout the seats for the TrailSport. You have it embroidered up top as well. And then hopping inside, foot on the brake, let's fire it up. Got that V6 roaring to life. This has comfort access in it, so we can adjust the seat a little bit. But from here, you're gonna get a nice black leather wrapped steering wheel with the heated steering wheel control right here. We have controls on the left for Bluetooth and audio. You can also adjust the screen up front. And then we have cruise control on the right side with lane keeping, steering intervention, forward assistance, and then paddle shifters as well. Now the right stalk has the windshield wiper controls. Left one is headlights and turn signals. And then for the screen on the left, you can see a few things. You're able to enter and just kind of adjust things and monitor some vitals. So pretty simple overall, looks pretty good. Then we have some screen settings in the center, along with your speed on the right. Over here, you're gonna see your tailgate release, heated windshield, along with their traction control, one of your air vents, and then a soft touch plastic all up above on the dashboard. Storage cubby up here is pretty large. You could fit 2 cell phones in here. And I do like the leather material with this contrast stitching. Screen up above is what you're pretty much used to on any Honda. You have all sorts of different settings in here. Tiles are large enough to tap, so pretty easy to use. Sirius, of course, Android Auto in here. We have a manual back button as well as a home screen icon, and then a few shortcuts will be underneath it. For reverse, you pull that back, and we have a top-down view. You can adjust these screens as well, which is a nice touch, and then you have a few more adjustments. And then if we go ahead, we have a neutral icon, drive, and then park is the button up in front. Down below, we have our 2 air vents and then all physical climate controls. Dual zone temperature that you can sync, fan speed in the center, and you're able to adjust your rear settings independently, lock them as well. So I like how you're able to turn rear on and off independently of the front. We have heated seats, your different zones you can easily toggle through, and then storage with extra plugs. Now we have our wireless phone charging pad. You're able to turn this on and off, which I like quite a lot. That way it's not turning on if you have something in there that is metal like a key. You have extra storage, cup holders, and drive modes. Now being a TrailSport, we do have all these nice off-road settings, even a tow mode, and then you can go all the way up into sport, normal, and eco mode. We have our downhill assist, park and brake, auto start stop, and then a really large padded armrest in the center. So there's tons of storage space under here, contrast stitching, and a pretty large glove box as expected. One last look at the interior. Really can't complain. It's nothing too crazy fancy. However, very functional interior. It looks good at the same time. Nice use of materials overall for its competition. You can also see a massive panoramic sunroof shade up above, and then you can open this up and we have storage for sunglasses, and you can even lock that for a nice rear view mirror to see what's going on behind you. We have our glass control, sunshade control up here, and then there's the dome light controlling, and then we have garage door buttons underneath the mirror. All right, setting off in the TrailSport. Just doing 20 feet of a gravel road. That's about all the off-roading we're gonna do in a brand new vehicle. So getting my bearings with it, we're gonna go into just eco mode, just kind of drive it like normal. The suspension is really soft in this. Now the TrailSport is designed to be able to go over gravel roads, dirt trails, things like that. Obviously it's not a hardcore rock crawler where you're gonna be crawling stuff like that. But you know, this is gonna be great for hitting that off pavement drive. And that does translate to a really soft and comfortable ride quality on the road. These seats are very nicely padded as well. Good visibility all around the vehicle. So really just kind of a big open SUV to drive, and it's comfortable and smooth. You don't hear the tires either. They are, you know, off-road all-terrain tires. So pretty comfortable and smooth going 40 on a kind of a badder road, I would say. So pretty quiet overall. There's no wind noise or anything like that either. The steering feel and suspension, again, this is designed a bit more for the off-road, so on the street it's not quite as tight feeling as maybe a touring trim level or something a little bit more street focused. So there is a little bit of some play in the steering, and if you're going to be taking high-speed turns, obviously there's going to be some body roll in this. Now the turning circle is pretty tight, especially for a 3-row SUV with all-wheel drive. So that's nice to see. Steering is very lightweight as well in the slow speeds. And then let's go into the sport mode and test out the 10-speed with the V6, very old school engine. I will say the shifting is a little on the slow side, and you can kind of just feel that delay. So it's not exactly a snappy vehicle, and I would say the sport mode really just makes it to where it'll hold the revs a little bit higher, throttle response is a little bit sharper. So definitely ideal if maybe you're driving this through the mountains or something, just to let the vehicle be a little bit more sporty, it kind of helps out. But it's definitely not the fastest thing out there. It's a quick SUV, it'll get you up to speed with no issues. Certainly doesn't have a performance feeling to it, which is kind of obvious. I mean, it's a Honda, it's not a European brand. So normal driving seems to be like a pretty normal car. I would just say the delay in shifting is my only thing that I'm noticing. Giving it some throttle again. It's definitely a slow rev, so just not like the most responsive engine and transmission. With that said though, it is smooth to drive. Your typical person who's buying this, I mean, it's not gonna be a complaint. It does drive a lot different when you compare it to similar competitors that are gonna have the turbocharged engine. Those are gonna give you more of that low end torque. This V6, you have to let it rev out to get some power out of it. So it's pretty sluggish under 3. Once you hit 4, that's when it starts carrying the weight. So you just have to drive this a little bit different than the modern turbocharged engines. But other than that, I'd say overall this seems to be a nice to drive family SUV, about what you would expect. The build quality feels good, things you touch are nice, the way you operate things. I love physical climate controls, makes it super easy. This screen is also really user friendly, and then the Apple CarPlay in my own Civic Type R, that works really snappy. So infotainment system all works really well. Just the use of materials is good enough as well. I think for the price point it kind of matches what you see on the competition. So I really can't complain as far as a driver's vehicle for the family. It's comfortable, it's nice to be in, it's very roomy. You're not gonna have any complaints with just sitting in here, going the long distance. It's a pretty comfortable, smooth family car.